Hey everybody, it's your old pal Tom here from the Tom Gulley Show. Let me tell you about the dead thing that you saw in the World Cup. Let me tell you about the mirage that you saw leading up to it. Let me tell you about a lot of things that led to that. And let me tell you about a lot of things that are going to make sure that same thing just keeps happening and keeps happening and keeps happening. And let me tell you why I am 9,000 times smarter about soccer than anyone that you will ever hear from. Oh, are there people smarter than me about soccer? Yes, they are. They're coaches of national teams. They're coaches of professional teams. They're certainly not pundits. Well, there's a couple pundits. But for the most part, no. You're going to just... Having a World Cup on your home soil, when you started playing the game at a relatively early age, soon as you could, and nobody else played it. I grew up in a town, and you can look this town up, Carmel, Indiana, and look at the high school there. I grew up in a sports-centric town. We won the state championship in everything. The high school basketball championship in Indiana, the greatest prize of them all. Yeah, we won that while I was there. The football championship, we won that 2 or 3 times. Cross country, you bet. Boys tennis, you bet. Girls tennis, you bet. Boys golf, you bet. Look it up. You don't have to go by me. And I was good at all those sports. Pretty good basketball player. Hey, football, you need a field goal kicker, I'm your guy. I didn't do any of those things. And the reason I didn't do them is because I played soccer. That's all I wanted to do. And this was when the World Cup was on. I still have this, by the way. In 1978, in my newspaper, the Indianapolis Star, you know how much coverage the World Cup got? In the section of the paper where they just listed all the scores of the baseball games and the standings on, there was one line. It said World Soccer. Argentina 3, Netherlands 1. That was it. That was the whole coverage. And so I've had to learn and soak up information, especially from an early age. I'll get into all of it, but I am going to tell you about why the United States failed so badly yesterday. And I'm going to tell you why they're going to continue to fail. The same way every single time. I'm also going to tell you there was a tremendous thunderstorm going on about 10 minutes ago, and I thought, well, these people are going to get treated to quite a show full of thunder and lightning. And then the weather, because I'm ticked off. But I am going to answer all those questions for you. Before I do, this is our cold open. We do it for our audio podcast listeners. I got to play a couple songs to let people fill up the chat room. Although people are doing it, and by the way, I'm going to be more pissed off on this episode than I've been in a long time. And I am going to pin the link at some point. And I'm also going to use a lot of profanity. So settle back. I don't normally do that. Till then, I picked out a couple of oldies but goodies from my song collection. And I'm going to play those now. And when I return, let me tell you about my World Cup autopsy. It's going to be a big, big hit.
the man from Gulley. He'll outsmart the devil verse every day. The man from Gulley. Say what? Taking down those puppets in his funky way. He's got moves like a Motown king. Words so smooth, they gotta sting. Ha! With a mic in hand, he's a podcast pro. Evil schemes on wherever he goes. Clap your hands now. Tom don't run, Tom don't hide. He's got that funky justice stride. With the bass line bumping, the horns on blast. He's fighting those puppets, making it last. Say, Tom Gulley, say the man. Say Gulley, Gulley. He's got the plan. He's the man from Gulley. Oh yeah, he'll outsmart the devil verse every day. He's the man from Gulley. Taking down those puppets in his funky way. When the daylight's fading and the world feels wrong, there's a voice on the airwaves, steady and strong. From the heart of the internet's wild frontier, Tom Gulley's talking, pull up a chair. He's got stories, he's got takes, he's got calls rolling in. From the tales of the weird to the shape of the spin. If you're tired of the noise and the nonsense online, there's a seat in the Gullyverse. Come take your time. The show must go on. The show must go on. With the mic burning bright through the dusk to the dawn. Yeah, whatever goes wrong, the Tom Gulley Show lives on. The show must go on. He's the radio outlaw with a charm so sly. A storyteller's cadence and a wink in his eye. From the ghosts in the attic to the news of the day, Tom breaks it all down in his signature way. He's the king of the ramble, the lord of the yarn. He'll take you from evening straight through the dawn. With callers so strange you'd swear they're a bit, but Tom never wavers, he just rolls with it. The show must go on. The show must go on. With the mic burning bright through the dusk to the dawn. Yeah, whatever goes wrong, the Tom Gulley Show lives on. The show must go on. So grab your Dr. Pepper and settle in tight. Tom's firing up the airwaves tonight. Whether chaos or calm, he keeps steering the ship with a quip, a riff, and that Gulley grip. The show must go on. The show must go on. Through the static and storms, every dusk, every dawn. From the heart of the net to the edge of beyond. The Tom Gulley Show lives on. Yes, the show must go on.
Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking? Let me tell you why the World Cup was such a crappy thing for the U.S. just a couple days ago, getting us all worked up. And then, look, it's one thing to lose. It's another thing to just go out and look like youth soccer kids that have never played the game before. It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous. It's everybody getting all in a hubbub about, oh, we're so better now and blah, blah. No, we're not. No, we're really, really not. And I'm going to tell you all about that. But anyway, if you do me a favor first, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all the absolutely free things that you can do to help us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing algorithm. And incidentally, hold on just a second here. Just hold on. Just take a second. Just hold on. Don't dirty your drawers or nothing. Just took a second there, didn't it? Well, that didn't take long. I had to go get my ring. Almighty algorithm. Help us with the algorithm. Hit the like, hit the share, do those things. Because I guarantee you nobody's going to do the next thing, which is really starting to cheese me off. And that's, we have the super chats, we have the memberships, we have the gifted memberships. Little something for the effort. You know what I'm saying? Our goal every night is any amount of money. We haven't reached the goal in a million years. Anyway, so other than that, if you're listening to us on audio podcast or you're watching us on demand, you can always go to the TomGulleyShow.com, and that's where the PayPal link is. You give the most, I get the most. We cut out the middleman. Or you can go to the TomGulleyShow.com. That's where the merchandise store is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Top quality name brand merchandise, sure to add a focal point of praise and pleasure to any room. A bunch of stuff. T-shirts in every color, long shirt T-shirts in every color for men and for women. Baseball shirts, football shirts, shot glasses, beer glasses, pint glasses, beer mugs, frosted beer mugs. I mean, we got everything. Anyway, let's go to our YouTube chat room. Then I'm going to go on a frickin' bender here. I'm really going to be mad. I'm so mad. Leon Kennedy said, England going to get smashed by Norway. And I said, and I believe this, England-Norway is going to be a banger of a match. I think it's the best match of the quarterfinals myself. Some of the other ones, they'll be good and everything. But that one just, I think, is going to be wide open and cool and fun. Chris says, Tom lost, Canada lost too. Condolences. Well, Canada had the benefit of an American coach, and they set a bunch of records. Canada been to the World Cup twice before and never won a game. And this is, yes, best World Cup ride Canada ever went on. Proud of them. The U.S. keeper on the third goal. Oh, we'll get into it. Hey, there he is, the chef. The chef. Yes, what is going on over here? I got to cut this hair. The chef on the case. Always good to see him there from Geraldine's Supper Club and Lounge. Right off Fountain Square there in English Avenue in Indianapolis, Indiana. Always good to see the chef. He DM'd me yesterday during the match. It was painful. I was in a coma. I do know. Oh, don't I know? Jared says, hey, Tom. Hey. This guy Hezbollah, who I've never seen here before, or maybe once or twice, thinks I'm watching the African World Cup. First of all, there is no such thing as the African World Cup. There's the African Cup of Nations. So he's being a wiseacre. And so being a wiseacre back. Yeah. Our good friend Guido Samurai is here. This guy, crisis actor, I don't know what's up with him. Did you see all the Mexicans melting down over the Anglo-Hitlerians destroying them? You mean the English? I don't know what you're talking about, man. It says hello. Stella's here. Says, I am streaming you to pod. Heart miss you. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate it, whatever it is. I think this was the biggest game in program history, and well, it's hard to say that it was the biggest game in program history. It was a very important game. It's debatable whether it was the biggest. Tom, I don't know what's going on there. I can't. But worst Belgium in years, and this was the performance. Well, we don't know if it's the worst Belgium in years because this cup isn't over, is it? So we don't know about that. But I'll get to it. Yes, the English. Well, let me tell you something. Mexico could have won that game. If Mexico's keeper doesn't come out and meat axe that guy, and I know you got to cross the ball. Mexico at one point, I think 49 crosses at the end of the game when England was playing with 10. You know, crossing the ball into the box when all of your players are 5'10" or under and England's back line is gigantic. I don't know. I'm just thinking, I'm streaming you in Pod Awful. Oh, are you? Well, thanks. Because there's nothing I love more than being streamed into a Discord. That's doing me a million favors. Thanks. Appreciate it. All the players on Euro teams are African. Are they? I wasn't aware of that. Huh. I just watched Switzerland play Argentina. It's not Switzerland play Argentina. Switzerland play Colombia. Didn't look to me like all those players were African. Huh. Well, you must be a racist. Would you like some time to think about your racism? I could give you some time if you would like some. Brofister says, we love you, Tom. Why did you leave? Well, gee, I wonder why. I wonder why. A variety of reasons. Oh, I see. He does want some time out. Well, there you go. You can have some time to think about the error of your ways. Anyway, today's topic. Let me tell you about this World Cup situation here. This is bigger than just the World Cup. Much, 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 much bigger. And one of the first things you have to realize is I am a genius when it comes to soccer. You just need to come to terms with that right away. I mentioned when I was growing up, there was very, very little soccer to be taken in. Wait, I got to answer a question from Tim Jenkinson real quick here. What did you think of the Argentina-Egypt match? I thought it was thrilling. I thought Argentina played valiantly. If I was an Egyptian, I would feel very hard done by the disallowed goal. However, technically, by the rules of that law of the game, that call was actually correct. It doesn't seem correct because they ran the length of the field. It happened so far away from the actual goal and happened more exclusively far in distance in time from the actual foul. But I don't understand why the referee let the thing go on. You would think a foul in that part of the field would just be called. But I thought it was a thrilling game. And there you go. Crisis actor. Hey, you're looking for a little timeout too, aren't you? Hey, why don't you just take some time and think about yourself, huh? How about you do that? Brofister, I don't even know what that sentence means. I don't know what that means. Oh, a genius when it comes to soccer. I gotcha. Oh, you're another guy that would like some time by himself. All right, there you go. Why don't you spend a little time with yourself? Why don't you work on yourself a little bit? So as I was mentioning in the cold open, growing up, I mean, I had absolutely no, access. Like Tim Jenkinson, when he grew up, could watch Soccer Saturday, or there was a program on. He had access to, England's salute to Peter Shilton or whatever. There was programs on. It was magazines. It was newspapers. It was all sorts of stuff. Internet, maybe, for him. I don't know how old he is. For moi, there was a show called Soccer Made in Germany. It was on PBS 1 hour a week For a short time, the North American Soccer League was on. Then, in a certain point in time, when the ESPN began, they actually showed a lot of North American Soccer League matches, and they had a show called NASL Weekly, it would round the week up, and they showed a lot of indoor soccer. Keep in mind that from when I was like 22, 23 to I was like 30-something, there was no first division in the United States. The only thing that was left for me to play was professional indoor soccer. That was it. That was the only thing that was there. My teachers of the game were all deeply foreign, okay? They were the German-American team, the British-American. That's what they were called. The German-American club, the British-American club. One of the first men's league teams I was on was all South Americans. And so that's who I learned the game from. Most of my compatriots in high school and youth soccer, I guess it would be called, they learned from Americans. They learned kick the ball down the field, chase it as fast as you can, and that's how you play the game. With that in mind, I played on 2 high school teams that went to the state finals, lost both of them. And most of my teammates were like, well, we went to the state finals. We did great. And my attitude was, no, we didn't. We did terribly. Anything but the championship, and it's unacceptable. This is at the crux of the development of American soccer players. This is why you lose games the way those guys did last night. They've been getting told all through the World Cup how great they're doing. You've captured the hearts and minds of the country. Oh, you're great. You're doing so well. And no, you're nothing. You've done nothing. You've done absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I can't explain to you enough the problem with youth soccer in the United States. It's at the heart of all the problems. All of the problems. But back to the game. Now, the first 2 goals. See this fella here? His name's Tim Ream. He's 39 years old. I don't know for a fact that he was the oldest non-goalkeeper at the World Cup, but I'm pretty sure he was. Let's see here. Oldest player in World Cup 2026. Okay, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Oh, here we go. Oldest players. Let's get this off the FIFA site real fast. Come on, FIFA site. I know you're probably trying to figure out how you can screw me out of some money here. All right. Wow. Okay. Here are the oldest players that aren't, some of them are goalkeepers. I'll skip those over because goalkeepers can be older. But Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest players of all time, 41. I got it. Luka Modric, another of the greatest players of all time, 40. Zenko of Bosnia-Herzegovina, also 40. A guy by the name of Lionel Messi is older. And then there's Tim Ream. Tim Ream here, at the end of the last World Cup, I'm having a conversation with somebody, and they said, well, Tim Ream could be back for the next time. I went, Tim Ream is 35 years old. There's no way we can have him back. He'd be 39 years old. This is a young man's game. You think a 39-year-old Tim Ream is going to be able to stay up in pace with some 23-year-old striker from Brazil? No. But the youth soccer mentality that has infected American soccer has the guy go, well, he tries hard and he's a pretty good trier. Trying doesn't mean shit. Okay? It doesn't mean anything. I said, if we have Tim Ream on the field next World Cup, we're in big trouble. Well, this guy right here, not only on the field, captain of the team for his leadership qualities. Anybody who watched the match of us getting made to look ridiculous 4-1 yesterday, did you see any leadership going on? Did you see a whole bunch of leadership going on? And Tim Jenkinson says the other thing that I had said at the time and said now, and said when he was put on the World Cup roster, you keep him there and you don't get to develop anybody better. Okay? No, not having a younger, better replacement, that's one thing. Not allowing someone to get those matches in, friendlies and everything over the 4 years, to make mistakes, to get better. You don't get that. You don't get that. I would argue, if you saw the first U.S. goal that we gave up, you watch it again. Tim Ream's back is to the guy he's supposed to be marking. The guy just jogs past him, taps it in the goal. He's not, that's youth soccer stuff. Mark your man in front of the goal. You're a center back, not Tim Ream. Did you see the second goal that we gave up when Tim Ream here got posterized, where the guy just jumped over him, knotted it down, and pushed him into the dirt? Maybe you're too old. Maybe you're too slow. Maybe you're not even a good enough player to have anticipated when you should be at the apex of your jump and head that ball away. Either way, you shouldn't have been on the field. But you know why you were? It's the youth soccer mentality that permeates American soccer, top to bottom. 4 years ago, when I was saying what I was saying about Tim Ream, all I got was an avalanche of crap about how great Tim Ream was. And oh my God, leadership. Oh, the leadership that he shows. Leadership? What? Did you see leadership out there? Well, I don't even know what leadership means during a soccer game, and I played 1,000 of them. You know? The only thing close to leadership is somebody getting up in your face and going, start doing your job, asshole. That's the only leadership I can tell you about. And I didn't see any of that from him. But when you start criticizing these players, objectively criticizing them, and by the way, if you follow an NFL team or a Major League Baseball team or an NBA team and you go to a message board, oh, there's no shortage of criticism there. You know, but you start criticizing these players and it's, well, he's been playing for a long time and he's pretty good. And, well, he's our best starter and he blah, 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 blah. It's like, don't you have eyes? Don't you have an eye test? This guy has been getting scorched on defense for the last 4 years. And everybody's, well, he's in there. He's solid. He's our tried and true. You're giving away goals like handfuls of Skittles in a World Cup match, a knockout match. Yeah. The third goal, do we even have to talk about it? Really? Do we even have to discuss that? That we used to have world-class goalkeepers. World-class. I'm talking Brad Friedel. I'm talking Casey Keller. I'm talking Tim Howard. These are guys, two of those guys played over 400 matches in the English Premier League. The only reason Casey Keller didn't is that he played in Germany, he played in Spain, and he played in England. Now we got Matt Freese. Now we could have had Matt Turner, who was playing for Arsenal as a backup, then went to Nottingham Forest. But he was still in the Premier League. He came back to MLS because coach of the team said, you got to be playing to be on this team. Playing MLS, and then he didn't play him anyway. This wasn't Belgium coming out and schooling us in soccer. This was us making mistakes that 9-year-old teams don't make. That's what this was. Don't turn this into Belgium came out and like masterfully. They played basic soccer. And it's because of this youth soccer mentality. Christian Pulisic. Has anybody seen a commercial that didn't have him in it for the last 2-3 weeks? Non-stop. He's our savior. He's so great. What did he do in this World Cup? I'll wait. Oh, I know. Nothing. Nothing. And there's still people that are out there today going, hey, he would have had he could have. In Italy, in Germany, in Brazil, in Argentina, in England, you have a World Cup like that, you can't walk down the street the next day. But he'll get a pass. He'll get a big pass. Believe me. He'll still be Captain America. It's a youth soccer mentality. We don't want a higher standard for anything. Nothing. Our professional league does not have promotion or relegation. Okay? That means if you're one of the lowest teams, you don't drop down to the next lower division. And if you're one of the highest teams in that other division, you get to go up. What motivation is there for any of these players that play in Major League Soccer? Unless you're one of the top 2 or 3 teams, what motivation is there at all? At all. There's no consequences. Absolutely none. You get on a team's development squad. By the way, that's another issue. In the big soccer countries, when you're 10, 11, 12 years old, a scout spots you and you go to a professional team's academy. You eat there, you sleep there, you're there. You're being trained, you're being developed. And by the way, winning is not the number one objective like it is here with our pay-to-play teams. Development is the number one objective. Getting your technical skills up to snuff. Getting your tactical skills up to snuff, right? Here, you get on a developmental team, you break into the first team. You're on it now, but you're just a backup or something. What motivation is for you to do any better than that? None. You're already in the top league. You're not going to help them progress. You're not going to help them do anything. You're also not going to get dropped, for not performing. Over there, they'll drop you. You get on the field 3 or 4 matches in a row and don't produce. Bye. See ya. The standards need to be way up here. They're way down here. They're youth soccer level. It's okay, Jimmy. Have an orange slice. Go ahead, Jimmy. You're doing great. You're trying hard. You're sweating. It's ridiculous. And we keep thinking that you put our guys out up against Belgium and they're going to walk out there and put forth an effort. And look, if you lose 3-2 and it's a bloodbath, nobody's upset. You lose 4-1 because you're giving away goals. Please. And then I gotta, when you love the sport as much as me and you have a home World Cup and the team does pretty okay at the beginning, there's a lot of good that comes with that. There's still a lot of good that comes with the fact this has been an exciting World Cup. There's been a lot of great matches, great performances for me to enjoy. But there's a lot of bad stuff going on too. Number one, and Landon Donovan said this too. He said, my kid's youth soccer coach thinks he knows more about soccer than I do. That's a problem. That's a problem. And I've had to hear from all these people, I know they didn't play in high school because I went to high school with them. and they're experts on soccer more than me now. And they know I played in high school, and they know I played in college, and they know I played after that. But they know more than me now because their little girl played 3 seasons of youth soccer. They know more. And they were the head of the youth soccer organization once a year. They made sure those fields got lined and those orange slices got sliced up. So I've had to hear from all of them. It's insufferable. The levels of stupidity. And I've had to hear from the Stephen A. Smiths, the Colin Cowards, the Nick Wrights, the Dan Dockiches, the Jason Whitlocks, the Rich Eisens, the Dan Patricks about soccer. Every 4 years, they come down from high atop Mount I know everything about sports to tell we mortals about soccer. And they don't know an effing thing. Not one thing. It's always the same. Our best athletes aren't choosing to play soccer. You really think that's the problem? You think LeBron James could play soccer? Do you really? Where? What position? He's way too heavy to be a goalkeeper. Way too heavy. He ain't got the endurance to play anywhere else. Sorry. You want to talk to a little bit about the greatest soccer players of all time? Let me get a list here for you. I already know what the answer to this is. I want to get the exact dimensions. Let's see here. And let's throw one in. There we go. All right, here we are. Pele. You guys have heard of Pele, right? One of the greatest of all times. 5'8", 154 pounds. Diego Maradona. 5'5", 148 pounds. Lionel Messi. Ever heard of him? 5'7", 148 pounds. Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, outlier. 6'2", 187. Still, he's not big enough to be a guard in the NBA. Where's he going to play on a football field? You tell me. Receiver? Maybe. Maybe quarterback? I don't know. Johan Cruyff. 5'10", 157 pounds. These guys, Gerd Muller, 5'9", 163 pounds. These guys they got to run forever. They're not big. They're not bulky. They're just not. Absolutely not. I don't know, I'll get you some other ones because there's one outlier that I can tell you about that I know is going to come up. But, I'll just use these 3. Mbappe is 5'10", and he weighs 165 pounds. Bukayo Saka, about the same. Erling Haaland is 6'5" and weighs 200 pounds. 200 pounds is not that much for 6'5". Trust me, he's in real good shape. And all these meathead, blowhard, gas bag, ball cap, sports bro, sportscasters our best athletes aren't going to. Belgium has 11 million people. Do you think with all the athletes that are never going to play pro sports, all the guys under 6 feet tall, all of them in the United States, that we don't have enough athletes there to become the greatest soccer player in the world? Because you don't have to be over 6 feet to be the greatest soccer player in the world. I've just proven it. And you've got guys saying our best athletes that is bullshit. That is the highest, biggest, deepest pile of bullshit that has ever been issued forth from a bull. And they'll keep saying it. They say it every 4 years, and they'll say it till they're blue in the face. Because in their sport, athlete, we got to get some athletes in here. How big is he? How fast does he run the 40? Jason Kelsey, legendary football player, said, look, I think his wife is a professional soccer player. He's like, you want to play soccer, you got to start when you're 10 or 12 years old and develop all those skills. I know dudes that didn't play high school football that are in the NFL because all you got to be is an athlete. Same for basketball, same for the rest of them. And I got to hear it over and over and over again. And you just want to count. I would rather hear the person, a scientist who discovered a cure for cancer, being slowly strangled to death before sharing the cure for cancer than I would Colin Cowherd talking about soccer. Let me get some of your comments in here. I got so much more to say. While Tim Ream's picture still let's at least get the crest up here, shall we? Tim Ream is just, I said it 4 years ago. I've been saying it ever since, and I've been just taking wheelbarrows of shit about how great Tim Ream is, and oh, you don't understand, and all of that. Let's see here. Jenkins, considering the Argentina goal to win was pretty much the same as the goal that was disallowed. You know, Tim, I hate to say it, but Argentina's been getting away with stuff for like a long time. Do I have to say hand of God? I don't understand why. My favorite team is always my own team and whoever is playing Argentina. And Italy. They both of those teams just get away with murder all the time. The hand of God, Argentina got away with a handball against Nigeria in the very next World Cup. I mean, matches used to be live for free on TV when I was young, before it all became about money. I'm sure it's all gone money, 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 like the sports here have. What's we got here? Yeah, the wolf apparently unaware that I'm on the air right now, sending me a... I shouldn't have answered that because he'll send me 10 in a row now. And bing! Let's see here. There's not much to learn. You just kick a ball. Really? Wow, you're pretty ignorant. I guess in football, it's just you carry a ball and you know what? I don't even like your name. Just the fact that I don't like your name, I'm afraid you're going to have to take some time. I'm sorry. You might have to take some time. I don't know how long that bans you for, but I know it's not forever. There's a dude named Tony DeChico. When we used to get drunk and tell everyone at the bar he was a pro goalie for Connecticut's soccer team. I didn't know Connecticut had a soccer team, but the Boston Minutemen, the New England T-Men, those are old ones. New England Revolutionary. There's a guy named Tony DeChico that used to be the coach of the U.S. women's national team. Tim has terrible hair. Oh, doesn't he, though? Looks like an old man Halloween mask. Alexis says, does it look like I even care? No, it looks like you just pulled a train with a bunch of hobos. I mean, if you'd like to know what it looks like you combed your hair with either a stick of butter or a whole bunch of man meat. Let's see. Andrew Dice Clay Combs says, this is gay. Well, I guess you'd know. What don't you think is gay? I'd love to know that. Oh, by the way, Andrew Dice Clay Combs, I think you need a little time. Just a little time to yourself. Tim Jenkins, the Belgian fans posting Trump saying, we are going to win so much you have to start winning, made me laugh. Well, here's the thing about the Belgian fans. I don't have them having a problem with Trump because he's the one that wanted to do that. I don't have a problem with anything, really, they did in reaction to that. But what were they worried about would be my... I mean, I personally think that whole situation, and I've spoken on this, when Balogun got the red card, I knew that wasn't red card worthy. I knew they violated the protocols of VAR. The fact that there's no appeal process is a FIFA mistake. But you know what? People have dealt with harsh red cards since 1970 when the red and yellow card system came through. It's part of the game. So while I was dismayed, I didn't spend a lot of time gnashing my teeth about it. I just went, well, we're going to have to play without him, and that's not good for us. But personally, I didn't know if we could beat Belgium anyway. Now, the lethargic Belgium that should have lost to Senegal, now that I thought maybe we could, but once they got that bulletin board material from Trump over getting him reinstated, which never should have been done. The United States team, if nothing else, had the goodwill of most of the soccer community because of the way we were playing and actually had a style and blah, blah, blah. That all went bye-bye real fast. And it wasn't the fault of the fans. There was no great outcry on the part of the U.S. fan base to get that rescinded. We know about soccer. That it's not going to happen. I had to check 5 different sources when I got up one morning and saw that it had been suspended. And I went, no, that's just clickbait. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. So I think all that did was light a fire under Belgium. And I think Belgium's coach, Garcia, I think he was smart for keeping all of his older, more tired players on the bench, because the U.S. was likely to high press and all that other, and he probably knew those players wouldn't have the energy, so let's put some sprightly young dudes in there. And the United States came out with their feet in the mud and then had no fight whatsoever. You tie the game up, and then you concede again 2 minutes later because your old man couldn't jump. I'm not a big fan of McKenzie. I think he's pretty clueless on the field, but he is a big dude, and I think he probably would have headed that ball away. True. I told you the Turkey game was a sign of things to come. You're only as good as your bench is. Well, frankly, our bench did a pretty good job. When Reina came in, they actually started doing pretty well until that third goal. The third goal is what ruined it. But the Turkey game wasn't a sign of things to come, please. The Turkey game was playing all the second-string players and resting everybody. No, that is true. Let's see. Writer Albert Lanier. I knew when I saw Turkey beat the U.S. in the last game of the group play, they were not going too far in the World Cup. Well, that's just ignorant because there were 11 different players than had played before in that game. If you knew when you saw them play Australia or Paraguay, that different, or Bosnia even, different story. But Turkey, that's not a benchmark. I'm sorry. You're stupid for saying that. Tim Jenkins says, I think they really underestimated Belgium, thinking it would be easy. It's a huge step up from Bosnia. I don't think so. I don't think they underestimated them at all. I think they fell prey to the pressure of the moment. I don't give them credit for having the cojones to underestimate anybody. I really don't. I think they're soft, is what I think. And they just couldn't hack it. And then it doesn't help when you've got Tim Ream on the field. And that one dude gets exploited for 2 goals. You can't give away 2 goals like that. Here's somebody just sent me a note, and I agree with this. If they had lost the way Mexico lost, it wouldn't be upsetting. Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. What did I open this? Oh, I know what I did. I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna pin the link for all the fine people that have so many opinions. I'm gonna pin the link. It'll take me here a second to pin the link. Let me see if I got another great opinion. Maybe we should focus on healthcare and infrastructure and affordability instead. That's easy for you to say after you've just pulled a train with a bunch of hobos, young lady. Hobo train puller girl. For the love of Mike. I'm sorry, that might have been too mean.
That's a tough one, pal. That's a tough one.
All right, here we go. Let me pin this link. Let me pin this sucker. Pin message. There we go. And I'd like to thank StreamYard again for making it impossible for me to pin that directly from my platform here. Thank you, StreamYard. Just out of interest, do parents have to do the coaching courses there to coach kids? Of course not. Of course not. Maybe in some, but I doubt it. You know, if you get higher up, some parents get involved and start doing that kind of stuff, but I don't think it's required at all. The big sports leagues in the U.S. are NFL and NBA. MLS doesn't come close. There's no real pipeline, no professional networks as in Europe and across the globe. Writer Albert Lanier, does it hurt to be as stupid as you are? First of all, soccer is the number 3 most popular sport in the United States in a poll conducted by The Economist earlier this year, long before the World Cup. Secondly, yes, there is a pipeline, dummy. All of the MLS teams have professional academies now. I am sorry. So very sorry. Also, there are elite under 19 youth leagues playing all over the country with actual budgets and sponsors and everything else. It's not that we don't have the structure. It's the development within the structure. Major League Soccer, and this includes FC Dallas, which is in a show of just complete smarts, is refurbishing half of its stadium per season for 2 seasons in a row, therefore averaging only 11,000 per game. Even with that mixed in to drop the average, MLS averages anywhere from between 22,000 and 25,000 per match. I believe it is the seventh largest drawing league in the world. It also, of the top 30 most valuable soccer franchises on this planet, 5 of them are MLS. You need to do your research. You're talking to somebody that knows 1,000,000 times more, not that you know about this, but that you will ever know about this, okay? Belgium just made the U.S. look like amateurs, really. They did look like amateurs. I don't know that Belgium made them do that. I think they did that on their own. And most football fans wanted the U.S. to lose because of Trump's inference. I'm sure you meant interference with FIFA over the red card. I would say that second thing is true. I would also say, however, I agree with Simon Jordan in that that's FIFA's fault. FIFA should have said no. That's simple. The mistakes in all of this have been made by FIFA. The referee gave out the red card, which wasn't a red card to start with, after he didn't call anything in the actual run of play. The video assistant referees showed him the stuff, slow-mo and still image, violating their own protocol. So he issues the red card that shouldn't be a red card. U.S. had no hand in that. Trump, like an idiot, wants to influence the process. He calls Infantino. Well, you think that's the first time FIFA has been lobbied by somebody? Ever? No, it's FIFA's responsibility to say, no, we're not doing that. That's not on the U.S., although it is on Trump for doing the stupid thing. Tim Jenkins said, that's why Peter Crouch looks so strange. Peter Crouch does look like a pterodactyl, although he is, I'm not pterodactyl, a praying mantis. Although he is hilariously funny and a very nice guy, and I loved him as a player. Tim Jenkinson says Iceland has about 300,000 people, and look what they've achieved. Well, look what the Netherlands have achieved. Let's see here. Look what Cape Verde achieved. You know, it's not the size. If it was about the size of the country, China and India would be in the final every year. Go Norway, I suppose. I'd like to see Norway win. Why Norway and not France? France doesn't need it. Goat. Oh, man. They sent you the Statue of Liberty. They did. Oh, man. You guys, I'm kind of getting out of that conversation. Goats is the team that should feel robbed is Cape Verde. Absolute ref ball. Game handed to Argentina on a silver platter. Couldn't they have relocated to another stadium for a season and get it all done? FC Dallas is run by idiots. Idiots. U.S. Soccer and their headquarters, I guarantee you it's all youth soccer people. There's no professional. In England, in Germany, and in all the countries I mentioned, all 8 of the countries that have won the World Cup, let's list them, shall we? Uruguay, Italy, Germany, Brazil, England, France, Spain. I'm leaving one out here. Anyway, in all those countries, the top of their football federation is a professional person that's come from the professional ranks. Ours, it's always youth soccer people. Youth soccer controls the money. They control everything about. Now, FC Dallas, get this. FC Dallas used to play in the Cotton Bowl. So they decide they're going to build a stadium. Now, they live in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's kind of Hispanic. Matter of fact, the first events that were held at the Cowboys Stadium, they're playing matches in Dallas for the World Cup there now, were soccer matches. And they sold out the 100,000-seat stadium. There was a 2-game back-to-back. First events there, 100,000. FC Dallas chooses to build its stadium in Frisco, Texas. A super hard to get to, super in the Metroplex, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, super affluent, super white area. They've been in the bottom half of MLS attendance for 15, 20 years now. Yeah. The National Soccer Hall of Fame is built into their stadium. They spent like $140 million on it. And they still can't get people to go there. They've never signed a marquee star. They've never won the MLS Cup. They're idiots. Huge idiots. If you'd have put that thing back in the Cotton Bowl, if you'd have put it in Arlington, where the Cowboys Stadium is, where the Texas Rangers baseball team plays, it'd been packed every match. And hey, why don't you go out and get Robert Lewandowski? Huh? Why didn't you bid on Cristiano Ronaldo and get him like Miami got Messi? No, they're cheapskates. They don't want to do any of that. So, youth soccer thinkers. True. Sherry Okian said, Tom, will you join the USA soccer team? Well, my time is long since passed in attempts to play in the U.S. soccer team. I played against a bunch of the U.S. national team players in an indoor match one time, and we won. It was a thing called Soccer Blast, and they had a bunch of famous British players. Tim Jenkinson may be interested to know that I held Paul Mariner scoreless. Thank you very much. There was a couple of U.S. women's players on it. I think Christine Lilly and Michelle Akers-Stahl were on it. And then Jeff Agus and a bunch of U.S. national team players were on it. And they went from town to town, and they had all these equipment providers and games and things. It was there was a match, yes, but it was more, you could meet Gordon Banks, you could do a whole bunch of other stuff. It was like a festival, really. And then they had a match. And I was on the local team that they played, and they only lost 3 matches, I think, of that whole tour they did, and ours was one of them. And I got a compliment from Gordon Banks at the end of that, and I hold it dear to my heart. Tim Jenkinson's the only person who knows what that means, but I had a hell of a match. Hell of a match. Oh, I was saving everything. And Gordon Banks came up to me after the match while I was talking to my girlfriend and just stuck his hand out, grabbed mine, and said, "Robbery. Sheer robbery." I about started crying. Goat says, Ghana. Yeah, well, they're not gonna be playing any more games. Ghana beat us twice in a row, knocked us out of the World Cup twice in a row, and then we returned the favor. Actually, we didn't knock them out, but we did beat them in the first game of the 2010. Was it 2010 or 2014? I can't remember. Tim Jenkinson says, you should start a team, Tom. You have the altitude advantage for home games. Oh, God, don't we? I'm breathing hard right now. I am on the cusp of getting over this altitude thing. I got here in April, and I am just now starting to get over it. It's interesting because the first time I lived here, I didn't notice it as much, but I notice it a lot now, and I don't know the reason why. I don't know the reason why. Maybe I was in a little better shape when I got here the last time, but not that much better. Or maybe I'm just older. I don't know. Jerry Jones. Yes, Jerry Jones, very happy to have all the World Cup matches there in AT&T Stadium. They won't let me call it AT&T Stadium because they're being jerks about it. But Tim Jenkinson says you can be the Colorado Cannons and use the Arsenal logo. Well, actually, Tim, the guy that owns Arsenal, also does own the Colorado Rapids, who haven't won crap. Tim Jenkinson says, making saves like Gordon Banks. Yes, I know. Goes to Coach Gulley. Oh, I've been Coach Gulley many times. Many times. The first time I was out here, I started a soccer program and ran it for 3 years. And when I left, it didn't, nobody else wanted to pick up the mantle. So, yeah. Somebody approached me the other day about starting it up again, and I went, let me think about that. No. Where was I with all this soccer stuff? Oh. Yeah, so the youth soccer thing here, first of all, the pay to play, when you have rich kids that can afford the pay to play, they're not looking at soccer as a profession for the most part. Some of them are, a few of them are, but not very many. And also, those are the kids that are going to crack. Ever notice that? The Richie Rich kids that always get their way and, Mommy, I want this. Here you are, sweetie. Those are the kids that'll crack every time. The kids that play in the streets, your Hispanic kids, your inner city kids that are looking at, can work with my dad as a janitor or at McDonald's, or if I make a Major League Soccer team, that's like winning the lottery. Those are the ones that are hungry, the Diego Lunas of the world. And we don't have a pipeline for them. We've made the decision that if you want to play elite competitive soccer in this country as a youth, you got to hemorrhage money to do it. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We can get an energy drink company to sponsor the team, then I'm sure Tom will get back into it. This is the whipped strawberry monster drink. It's so good. When I was back in Dallas, I don't know if I've told this story before, but I played on an indoor team that we won the North Texas Indoor Soccer Association championship a couple of times in a row. And one of the guys on the team was an orthopedic doctor, like a sports doctor. And at the end of one of the seasons, or at some point, I was having some pain in my knee, and I went and saw him about it. He said, come on to the office and see me about it. And he got me in there, and it turns out that one of my knees had developed a lot of fluid on it. It was sort of underneath and stuff. And he's like, I said, is this a problem? He's like, no, you play so much soccer and have for so many years that little by little, this fluid has built up. This is a long time development. I can tell by looking at it. When I take it out, you'll be able to tell it's been in there a long time. So he takes this giant needle out, right? This huge needle. And he pushes it in. And he pulls it out. And it's this apple juice color of stuff. And wasn't a ton of it, but there was enough of it. And then my knee felt great again. And then at a certain point, I started playing again and coaching and doing a lot of stuff. And it was about 10 or 15 years later. And I'm back in, I'm still in Dallas. And I'm noticing a lot of discomfort in that knee. So I call up my buddy again, right? I call up my bro. And I says to him, hey, man, remember when I had that knee? Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was kind of having that problem again. Think I could come in and you could give it? Oh, yeah, sure. Come on in. Of course, he didn't charge me the first time. Not that it bothered me that he didn't charge me, but he was just kind of doing it as a favor. Off the books. Don't have to go through my insurance company, all that. So he gets me in there. He scans it again. And says it's the same thing. And I figured it was. And he's like, well, let's get your knee up here. Let's take care of it. And so I'm sitting in the thing and my knee's out. And he starts to put the thing. He goes, my oldest son is on a select team. I'm like, oh, boy, here it comes. And was just wondering, and he's pulling this thing out. They've got some goalkeepers that really probably could use a lot of instruction. We don't have anybody for that. I went, yeah, I'll come out there and take care of it. I said, I don't expect me to come to no, you don't have to come to the games. You know. And so I'm out there and I'm training these kids for, oh God, it was 3 or 4 months. And I just would come to the practice, right, and show up, and you three, you're with me, and running through drills and shooting drills and all that. And toward the end, I'd be like, hey, could you guys that are doing the shooting, could you do a better job so my guys get some work? Because you kind of suck. I mean, it's like there's 20 of you, and maybe 6 of the shots are on goal. You ought to be able to put them on target, on frame every time. And then they started chirping, and I went, okay, well, let me get in the goal. I guarantee you none of you will score on me. And they didn't. So I'm like, why don't you let me start taking some of the shots? I guarantee you every single shot I take will be on frame. It's not that hard. But these are Richie Rich kids, and they're mommy and daddy kids, and they don't care. They're not trying to get better. They made the team. They don't have to worry anymore. There's nobody barking for their spot like there would be on a real team in a real city, a club. Even the school teams in England, you don't perform, they kick you off and put somebody else on. So anyway, this one time I'm getting my stuff together and they're talking and, hey, Mr. Gulley, how come you don't come to any of the games? Nothing I can do at the games. I already trained you. You're going to do what I taught you or you're not. I can't help you. Don't you want to see how we do? Your coaches tell me how you did. You know, I don't need to see it. You win or you lose. Aren't you coming to our game this weekend? We're playing Beaumont. And I went, you're going down to Beaumont, are you? Beaumont, Texas. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to be there. Watch you guys pick the ball up out of the net. Because I knew the team they were playing down there. What do you mean? I went, okay, no offense to anybody here. And I'm looking right at my buddy because he's there. But the kids down there didn't get on the team because mommy and daddy are Richie Rich. Okay? They didn't pay a dime to get on that team. They had about 300 kids come out and try for 19 spots. And when you go down there, you're not going to be playing against Chad and Jeremy and Travis. You're going to be playing against Juan and Carlos, okay? And those guys aren't going to care one bit if you're bleeding. They're going to run over you like a freight train. So, no, I don't need to go down there for that. And they were like, what do you mean they all tried out for a spot? I was like, yeah, guess what? There's teams where you got to do that. And those guys are going to mop the floor with you. It's not even going to be funny. And here's another thing I will tell anybody that's listening to me right now. That you can believe this or not. You can go by it or not. Tim Jenkins says, strange when so many Americans are buying up clubs in Europe. Yeah, well, they see there's an opportunity. They're grifters. It's like these sports guys talking about the World Cup like they know about it. And they just sound like idiots. They see a grift there. They see, look, soccer is it's the number 3 most popular sport in this country. They're not watching MLS. They're watching Champions League and the English Premier League. But if you got a kid that's playing soccer, and that kid's 13, 14 years old, and you say to them, hey, we're all going out to get some ice cream right now, but there's a pickup soccer game I heard of. I can drop you off there. Which would you rather do? If they say they want ice cream, don't pay another dime. Don't drive them to another practice ever. The ones that will succeed, and this is another problem with our youth soccer setup. Youth soccer is a pastime. It's something for them to do. It's taken the place of Boy Scouts. Okay? Oh, Jimmy plays soccer. Why? Well, it's just a thing to do. As long as I can remember growing up, and this isn't, I'm not saying this, just using my personal experience to illustrate this, but this is also true of every good or professional player I know, and this isn't confined to soccer. It didn't matter to me what else I could do. My number one thing I wanted to do was play soccer. My family went on a vacation to Florida when I was in high school. I was a freshman or a sophomore. And I knew I could play soccer all that week at this place. And I said, I don't want to go. That's the first time I was ever allowed to stay on my own at home, ever, my whole life, was then. And when I was in college, hey, it's Friday night. There's an open gym at 11. Some guys are going to be playing soccer. Hey, Tom, you want to come out with me and go to the party? No, Susie, I'd rather play soccer. Didn't matter what it was. I'd rather play soccer. I want to be better all the time. If your kid's not thinking like that, don't waste your time. Don't waste their time. Don't do it. Damn. Tough love, Tom. Well, iron sharpens iron. The youth system is brutal here. Such a small percentage make it. Yes, And it should be. That's what they don't get here. They want everybody to get along, happy, happy, and they want everybody to get a little participation trophy, happy, happy, and they want, this is the killer part, they want to celebrate, heavily celebrate efforts like yesterday. Hey, this team really won our hearts. Hey, this team really did that. This team didn't do shit. Okay? What happened at this World Cup is unacceptable. 100% unacceptable. Whatever we're doing, blow it up, start over. And it's not like, as Tim mentioned, it's not like Argentina, Brazil, England, Italy, Germany don't already have a working model of how this is done. It exists. You just turn your head and look at it. They don't want any part of that because there's youth soccer coaches at some of these soccer clubs that are earning a big time living because these parents will shell out the money like you can't believe by doing nothing but letting little Jimmy and little Timmy on the team. I'm telling you, it's disgusting. Let me see here. And by the way, my Facebook today is so crammed with nonsense from people about soccer. It's ridiculous. Here's a guy. I wonder if it would have been better if we didn't appeal on the red card and they just played the victim of the FIFA card. That way the players would have had a chip on their shoulder and played harder. Okay, professional players, only two things that motivate: money and playing time. The red cards they're used to, dumbass. Ooh, we were unfairly done in. They're already looking at who could represent us in 2030. Really, you shouldn't be doing that. Let me see here. Oh, U.S. Soccer's issued a statement on Mauricio Pochettino. Their statement was, we're going to wait and rest until its time is right and blah, blah, blah. I'd go to him today and say, do you want to continue or not? I really don't know. I can't really decide. Then we don't want to talk to you anymore. Oh, here's Colin Cowherd, major dumbass about soccer. Whoops. Hold on.
Golden generation is a soccer term used when you have several players moving into their prime. Youth that has played together for years. 13 returning players from the previous World Cup. The stakes, it's American soil. This was the World Cup to not only get it right, but keep on moving. We've always been good getting out of the group stage.
No, we haven't. We didn't qualify in 2018. We didn't get out of the group stage in 98. This guy doesn't know. I love how the golden generation, that's what they call it in soccer. When this isn't a golden generation. You know how we'll know it's a golden generation? When not one of our players is playing in Major League Soccer. That's how we'll know. Oh, this guy says more dumb crap. It is amazing.
Belgium, not long ago in a friendly, sort of whacked us and dominated us. It actually plays to our favor. We shouldn't be cocky tonight, but we earned it. This is our best group of skill and talent that we've ever had. We've always had athletes.
What are you talking about? Skill and talent don't mean anything. It's good to have it. Do you think that the skill and talent on the 2002 team is better than this one? Well, then why did they go to the quarterfinals and take Germany to the brink? Because they were a better team. Because they had heart. That's why they actually wanted to win. They weren't a bunch of coddled, pat on the rear end, Let's see if I can find another sports, what I call sports bro. Oh, here's one from the U.S. men's soccer team, soccer fans only message board. Enough of this gloom and doom. We had a bad match, but that does not reflect the status of football in the U.S. Jesus God. See, this is what you're up against. This is what you're up against. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no way to get it through these people's thick skulls either, because they were the head of the local youth soccer association after all. They come on now. What are you, crazy? What are you, nuts? Oh, here's I don't even want to play Colin Coward again. Okay, this is from Galazzo America, from CBS Sports Galazzo. And these are people giving their message to the United States national team. Check this out. That guy is wearing bib overalls and a Ham's beer ball cap.
Huge appreciation for everything you did this year. Great job. Can't wait for the next 3 years.
They didn't quit. This is the problem. I guarantee you, if you'd have taken your camera out after Brazil lost, what do you have to say to the Brazil national team? It would have been the most scathing, vitriolic Tim Jenkinson. If England loses, and they don't lose going out on their shield, if England loses to Norway 4-1, I can't even think of the things that you will hear going out on the streets for a video like this. France versus Morocco tomorrow. Lots of cars will be burning in France after that. That's actually the day after tomorrow for us. Chip on their shoulder says, goes good. Coward has terrible NFL takes. His soccer takes must be atrocious. Oh, yeah. You know what? I've learned more than anything, and I worked in this business. I worked in a sports station. I've learned that sports blowhards, sports bros, they don't have to know anything about something to have an opinion on it. They cannot know one actual salient fact, and they'll talk about it for 15 minutes. Like the Nick Wright guy. Belgium's got a little winger that I think is going to be really torching it up. And it's like, can you just lay off the jargon for 10 seconds and talk about who you're talking about? Let's see what else they have to say here. You always have young players on the team that are going to be here next 4 years. That's a given. That's every single World Cup. Every single one. Bright future? Prove it. My attitude right now is there's not one player on that team that's earned his jersey for the next match. And if I was coaching a national team, that's the way it would be nonstop. Every match. You got to earn your jersey every match. And you think Pulisic thinks he's got to earn his jersey? Do you? Weston McKennie, you think he thinks he has to? Do you? Tyler Adams, who everybody makes such a big deal about. I'm sorry, not impressed. Tim Ream, once you make him the captain, you think he thinks he's got to earn his jersey? Furthest we got as a team. No, Not even close. You're stupid as well as being stupid.
You're so much better. You beat yourselves. There's always the next World Cup. So hold your heads up high, get better, be better, and we'll see you in 2030.
What, you're not going to follow him till then? He was on to something at the beginning. You beat yourselves and stuff, but then he had to turn it into a cupcake.
Get back there and let's go past the round of 16 in 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, 4 years. How many 4 years do you have just to throw away? Right? How many 4 years do you have? Let me know. How many? How many? Tim Howard says that Christian Pulisic is the face of this team. God, I hope not.
Too much is getting much required. He is the face of this team. He is undoubtedly its best player. And when that happens, you will receive all of the money and all the acclaim. And you will receive all the
How is he the best player on the team? That's Weston McKennie. He's the guy that does all the dirty work. Here's the U.S. national team's statement. We believed, so did you. Why don't they just put "ha ha fooled you" after that? But anyway, when we asked why not us, you answered. You filled stadiums. You brought the game into your homes, bars, parks, and communities across the country. Every time our players stepped onto the field, they carried your support with them. What good did that do us? Wearing the crest is a privilege, and hearing your voices throughout this tournament is something we will never forget. We'll learn from this. We'll get better to compete with the world's best. Dude, learn from what? You made mistakes that you should have learned at age 8. Learned? You didn't show up. What's to learn? I don't understand. We'll get better to compete with the world's best. I got a hot news flash for you. In 1994, a team that you're supposedly so much better at, and I know you've been gifted with much more riches and better facilities. 1994, a team of ragtag players, most of whom were employed by, United States Soccer. They didn't have a club. They took eventual world champion Brazil in the knockout round of 16 and 1-0. That was a fight. That was something we could be proud of. What are you going to learn? You did not lose 4-1 to the next world champion. That I will tell you. To every kid who watched this team and dreams of wearing this crest one day, keep playing or start playing today. We'll be cheering for you. I don't need you cheering for me. Keep believing, keep showing up. Oh yeah, by God, please keep showing up. Please keep paying us. Thank you for standing with us and believe. I'm paraphrasing a lot. I'm skipping over a lot of this. We'll keep doing the work to make sure every child who wants to play can do so. What do you mean? Any kid that wants to play soccer in this country can play. Are you retarded? That means more places to play, more great coaches, referees, and mentors in a game that's welcoming, affordable, and fun for everyone. Yeah, I'll believe that affordable part when I see it. There's a home for everyone in soccer. Thank you for standing with us and believing in this team. Thank you for believing the future of soccer in this country. Country roads take us home. Why did you have to include that loser, inbred, hillbilly, moonshine, Rube Lost in the Woods song? Yeah, country roads, take your ass home. You've been kicked out of the World Cup. Jeez. Good God. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Man, this morning my feed here was just full of stuff. Let's see what this blowhard has to say.
majority of soccer players in America, it is a privilege. In other words, you would pay your coaches, your club team to participate. I believe it's all a
Yeah. Well, he's right about some things. I'll say that. I can tell you this. When I was playing, by the way, the link has been pinned in this thing for a long time. When I was playing, we did nothing but scrimmage. There was no coach there. We all showed up at the park. However many people showed up, if 14 people showed up, we played 7-on-7. If 22 people showed up, we played, 11-on-11. If 30 people showed up, you played 11-on-11 and people subbed in and out. And we would play all day, all summer, every weekend in good weather. That's all we did. Let's see. Tim Jenkins said lots of Brazilians smashing their TVs after that loss. Tim, I saw some of those videos. I thought they were just, kind of setups. I thought they were just put-ons, of all these Brazilians. And I thought, okay, that's guy smashing his TV. Wow, there's another. After about 5 of them, I went, okay, they couldn't afford to do this just as a joke. And the places were different enough. And I thought, and the video quality was there. I'm like, God, there's a ton of people smashing their TVs over there. Double stupid. Nick Wright is a diehard Chiefs fan who thinks they can do no wrong. Oh God, Nick Wright. What a moron. Now this guy that just talked here, he kind of knows what he's talking about, but this best athlete thing has been proven wrong a million times. My mom just posted a serial killer video under her Facebook feed. That's a little disturbing to me. Let's see what else we got here. Surprised I haven't found another one. I'd love to find a Nick Wright one. Maybe those are mostly on my Facebook, YouTube feed. Let's see. People need to know. That's a guy from Utah there. Yeah, the Christian Pulisic thing. I come on. That's a joke. That is just a joke. You got to show up. If you want to be the big star, you got to show up at star time. What's this guy going to say? Oh, Jesus, he looks awful. He's a dude with a big Civil War beard and a USA hat. Okay, that's who's online, kids. That's your average online person. That is 90% of the people online on a daily basis. God, oh God, oh God. All right, here's another Colin Coward. He really does produce a lot of these little shorts, and they all suck.
As the cliche goes, two things can be true. We're better, but you should be discouraged. It looked really ugly in the end. Was Alexi Lalas? Was this a success? I think that this team did win hearts and minds.
Sorry, I don't want to listen to Alexi Lalas. I don't want to listen to Alexi Lalas.
Your eyes don't lie. We played Belgium in a friendly and got housed. And last night we got housed. It looked uglier. And giving up 4 goals, especially the ugly goal in the last one, it feels really lopsided. We would have been outclassed and outplayed, but we came into this World Cup. Mauricio Pochettino, this is the hand he's been dealt. He would love to have a Tim Howard, a Brad Friedel, a Casey Keller, 12 to levy all the criticism in earlier generations and earlier decades on our managers, on our coaches. Like the reality.
You don't think it's fair to blame Steve Sampson for everything? You're an idiot.
We saw it against Germany in a friendly within 90 seconds, and we saw it here under 2 minutes. What happens in a football game in America in the first series of a game? Because in the NFL, you win 64% of the game.
Oh God, do we have to hear about the NFL in every soccer comparison? Does it have to be? Does it really? Oh, here we go. This is the part I was wanting. Here we go.
38-year-old defender and an MLS goalie. They saw these coaches know what they're doing.
Well, I can't deny that. The Belgian coach probably his eyes got huge when he saw Tim Ream is playing. And Matt Fries? Okay. All right. I see what we will do here. Yes, this will be wonderful. One more. Let's see if I can find one more. It's just funny. There's a big radio conference taking place now, and they keep posting all these big leaders in the field of radio talking about the ways to win in radio. And I keep going onto their thing and going, "Why did your company lose $1 billion last year?" That's just a question. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, there's people getting mad at Piers Morgan because Piers Morgan has to support what President Trump does. And I guarantee you, Piers Morgan knows better. But he's got to keep... let's see. Yeah, Cindy Parlow is the head of U.S. Soccer, the U.S. Soccer Federation, which is just a joke. She got appointed there because of all this women's got to make the same as the men. And, oh, dear God. She used to play for the women's team. I don't think I need to say anymore. Come on. She was on the women's team, the women's team that shunned their goalkeeper and all that other crap. Yeah. So if you're wondering why our director of soccer operations left a month before the World Cup, I wonder why that happened. And why we're singing "Take Me Home, Country Roads," and why we're doing all this soft-ass femme shit. Look up at the top at Cindy Cohn. You look right at her. You look right at her, because she's the reason. She is the reason. Good Christ. She's going to have to go up against somebody here again. I don't know why she's still there. Look, 2022, we were out at the same stage we are now. Why are you still there? We're not improving. Any other federation on the face of the earth, Cindy Cohn doesn't have a job anymore. She's done. Done. I'm trying to find a sports blowhard here. Ooh, how to make a jersey dance. How'd that get into my feed? Let's see here. Okay, this says insane idea to fix the U.S. national team. This ought to be just horrible. I hate to say I'm following these guys. This is the oh God, I've got to tell these guys this is in whoops a daisy. They're called the Cooligans on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Incredibly hilarious. Played it on my show. Mentioned the name of yours. Oh, God. Did everybody get that? Did everybody get that on my program here? Did you see what happened to Jordan Henderson? I did see that. Yeah, Liverpool. I know that would make you happy, Tim. He should win Idiot of the Tournament. They give free tickets to watch women's football, but they want equal pay. I know. They should get fair pay. Fair pay. A little better than fair. But we've been footing their bill over here and all their failed leagues for decades. But they know better. They know so much better about so many things because they win the intramural championship of women's soccer. That doesn't have the incredible year. And by the way, all the other countries are catching up fast. And I mean real fast. That wasn't going to take too long. Once the other countries said, oh, their ladies are playing football, yeah, then we didn't win it every time, did we? Amazing how that works out, isn't it? Meanwhile, the FC Dallas under-16s are beating the world champion women's team 5-2. Okay. But she needs out. If we want to be a serious soccer nation, that chick needs out. She has no concept of high-stakes European, South American soccer. Guess what? I don't either. But I have an idea about standards, and I listen when Eric Winalda tells me what it was like to play in Germany, and they lost a match, and having to walk down the street the next day. That ain't happening here. Did you guys hear that guy's funny thing that I just played a few seconds ago? Was it just me that heard that? Was it echoing or something? I think that's the funniest thing I've heard in ages. I'll play it again if it wasn't. Crap, I just lost it. Facebook's been doing this thing lately where if I go to another tab and come back, it refreshes automatically, like I want it to or something. Let me see here if I can. History. Let me get the Cooligans. I could just search for the Cooligans. But did you guys hear that thing? That was very, 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 very funny. Great. I guess the France-Morocco game is going to be refereed by referees entirely from one nation, and it looks like the nation is either Uruguay or Argentina. I didn't look at it that closely. Here, let me look up the Cooligans again. Is somebody in the chat going to tell me whether whether they heard that or not? Because this is absolutely hilarious. And I need to know whether you heard it or not. Let me see here. Oh, man. No, you didn't hear it. Could somebody tell me when there's a large gap in what I'm playing on it? Have you guys heard any of the clips I've been playing at all? Hello? Is anyone listening? I'm playing this again.
I have a request. If you are a serviceman in another country, and it just so happens to be a European country that is good at football, you need to start banging. And I'm going to ask you one more favor. Hey, buddy, don't pull out, okay? Leave it in. You know what? Keep stroking. Finish a second time. We need to have, in 18 years, a lot more babies from Europe who didn't know their dad like me, who loved playing soccer. Because they had no dad to talk to, so they had to play in the streets. If we can get like just 100 more of you in a camp, I think we go win this World Cup.
Now, did you hear that? We heard all. This is this live scenario. They were quiet. I can hear better now. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm ending this. I think I've complained as much as I can, but youth soccer's the problem. The U.S. Soccer Federation is infested with youth soccer mentality. We need to crank this thing up about 500% minimum. The people that we have at the top right now, they don't get it. They're not getting it done. Not even close. Not country roads take me home ought to get you fired. Right there. But our standard is here. It needs to be way up here. And until they get that straight, until Major League Soccer joins the rest of the world and starts having promotion and relegation with USL and all the rest of the other leagues and divisions below that, and promotion and relegation happens, it isn't going to happen here. It's never going to happen here. We're just going to sit around and we're going to dream every 4 years, and people are going to get drawn in by the mirage of group play. Let's see here. Oh, look. What's this guy's name? TY. Should I just call you Ty before I put you in timeout? Goat says they were quiet. I can hear him now. All right. Goat says that clip was insane, but it's funny though, wasn't it? And it's kind of true. That one was hard to hear because his voice was a little low, but man, is that funny. Good God, is that funny. I'll tell you, it's, hey, but you know what? The World Cup, oh God, I got to play this one. Hold on here. This one looks like it was made for me. The World Cup's still going on. There'll still be some great matches here in the United States. We're taking a break tomorrow, I believe, and then Thursday we'll start back up again. I'm very interested in the matches that are coming up, but England-Norway is the one I'm really looking forward to. Let's hear what this fella has to say.
I hate to do this, but not enough people are talking about just how horrific Tim Ream was last night. And can someone please explain to me how he gave a man who looks like this the captain ban? Now let's roll the tape. Goal number 1 for Belgium. Here's Ream right here. Now take a look at how this man tracks the ball during this play. Ball goes up in the air. He's got a player right behind him. He knows it could be a cross. Doesn't even move. My guy, this is the knockout round. There is no tomorrow. And by the way, if you like elite sports content like this, make sure you're following. Okay, but that's just one goal. It can't get any worse than that, right? Well, here he is right here on goal number 2. Have you ever in your life ever seen a man get posterized worse than this? Look what this man does to Tim Ream. The man is face planted onto the turf. Okay, that's 2 goals now. What's behind door number 3? As he's the last line of defense on the most embarrassing goal in World Cup history. Now watch this. He actually does a good job of getting back. There he is, number 13. He gets in position. Now watch this effort. What is this? Is this man allergic to the ball? If he had just stood there and not done anything, the ball would have accidentally deflected off his leg. But the Savannah Bananas tape would not be complete without goal number 4. Here's Tim Ream right here. Lukaku has the ball. My guy, a parking cone could have done better than this. Who exactly are you defending here? So as bad as the keeper was last night, this man made him look like he was Tim Howard. I hate to do this.
Oh my God. Okay, that guy's name is Justin Morelli. I'm going to go ahead. It says, bro couldn't play dead in a Western. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to put it in my thing here. Oh, my goodness. Ream, what do we got here? I don't want to be on timeout. I legitimately listen to your streams. You're not on timeout yet. Norway will win. Ream sitting with his thumb up is yes. This is like WWE commentary. Oh, good Lord. Here's the Facebook link to that guy's commentary, because it's got the video. It's got the actual video from the game, and it is hilarious. And I've been saying this for 4 years. 4 solid years. When is the suplex coming off the top rope? I don't know. That was absolutely fabulous, though. Bill Simmons. Let's listen to a little of Bill Simmons, the basketball guy. He is especially awful about soccer.
The team was terrible. That was the worst we've played. Not only was that the worst we played all tournament, but I've watched a ton of soccer, as you guys have. That was the worst anyone's played for like about a week. When we were talking about like these final 32, final 16 games, that first hour was about as bad as we've seen anybody. Like, couldn't complete a pass, defensive screw-ups. Nobody was. The team was terrible.
Really? Really? The first hour? Really? Really? 2-1 up to 56 minutes. And by the way, and this is the killer part of it, and I'll go ahead and say it. The United States equalized. I believe it was 2-1.5. We came out in the second half. Gio Reyna gets in the game. They were actually doing some stuff. And then they gave up that third goal and it was over. That third goal is what really killed us. Really killed us. Here's Lexi Lawless saying, youth sports is a competitive market with businesses selling a product that obviously customers are willing to pay for. I'd love soccer was free to all. But who's going to pay for all this free soccer? Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? Nobody's necessarily talking about free soccer. We're just not talking about soccer that costs $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year to play. Oh, by the way, Luis Lasser died yesterday, and I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And so tomorrow we're going to cover Mary Hartman. But it would be easy in many cities to have affordable soccer. 4-H is big out here where I live. And if a kid had a 4-H membership, they got to play soccer. That 4-H membership is $10 a year. I'm sure it's state funded somehow or whatever, but we can get that funding to happen, Lexi. Trust me, a t-shirt, some balls, some goals, we can make that happen. The goals last forever, by the way, pretty much. Good Lord. Are you nuts? When I played Little League soccer, it was seriously, it was like, I know this was a long, long time ago. Even high school soccer, I had to pay like $60 a year or something like that. It was nothing. Here's another Bill Simmons.
I could tell you how the U.S. wants to play. You know, I thought Belgium kind of exposed that.
Pochettino did have this team playing so much better and more cohesively. I just think they got surprised. Rudy Garcia threw a changeup and they got outclassed. There's no way you can tell me that this was just Belgium. This was the U.S. giving them the game.
It just sounds stupid. Oh, this chick is just an idiot. Ariel Castillo. Oh, she's been a moron. She used to work for U.S. Soccer, and the commentary that she has is all about, I went to the game and they had these free sunglasses. It was really neat.
Hey, what day is it? 7 de julio. No, hombre, hay que poner el Señor de los Cielos.
Oh, you speak Spanish like we kill. She doesn't know what day it is. What's that tell you? Doesn't know what day it is. Doesn't know what day it is. And she, high up in marketing for U.S. Soccer, doesn't know what day it is. Now, this guy looks like he's going to say something that I agree with.
There's two things that are happening that'll drive you crazy if you're someone in my shoes. One is the silver lining thing. It is the.
I was just looking at your shoes to see what's going on.
One is the silver lining guys that are like, you know what? A lot to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to be proud of. Now, I know in 2014, that United States, they made it to the knockout round, Brandon, and they lost to Belgium 2-1. But that was then, and 12 years later, we got a lot more talent. We got a lot better coach.
It's different.
The World Cup is on home soil, and we made it to the round of 16 and got our fucking by Belgium.
Way worse than the first.
It's way worse. Way worse. But there are people that are like, this is a good step forward. It's not a good step forward. Fuck that. This was not a good. I don't like the moral victory. Like, we have a lot to be proud of. With it's clear now. The World Cup expanded. Right. We got an expanded World Cup. We beat Bosnia, but like Bosnia and previous World Cups, Bosnia is never making the knockout round. That doesn't count really.
No.
It was all fake. So I don't like the silver lining people, but I also don't like the we never cared about soccer anyway. Who gives a fuck? Which I know that's what you're thinking.
I cannot lie. That's correct. It's absolutely correct. Oh, here's one from Fox 5 New York. It's just a big poster. It says, "Thank you, USMT." Thank you for what? Thank you for what? I think this is just a joke, but it says U.S. just banned Belgium from entering the country starting August 1st, 2026. Oh, New York City is proud of you. And NYFC, New York City FC of Major League Soccer. New York City is proud of you, Matt Freeze. Well, I'm just going to have to put something in here. I'm going to have to put in here. The rest of the country, however, that may be true. That may be true. Be true. But the rest of the country is far less forgiving. Bam. That'll be banned, I think, in just seconds. Somebody put, he had an assist for a goalie. That's pretty good. Oh, God. It's just, I'm trying to find a really good one to end this with. Oh, there's an Arby's commercial. That's fabulous. I have an interesting Facebook feed.
Having kids is risky when you're older. Like my sister is pregnant, and they ran a bunch of tests, and one of them came back positive for Down syndrome. Ah! My concern is, what if she gives it to the baby?
Okay, that's pretty good. And here's one. It's Matt Freeze, how it went horribly wrong on embarrassing World Cup gaffe. And I'm like, do you think we care? Do you honest to God think we care what the hell you did there? Do you think we want an explanation or need one at this point? You know, when I am in a big city, like say New York City, and I'm walking by Penn Central Station, and there's a man there that has wiped feces all over his face, do you think I want an explanation? I don't want an explanation. Let's see here. I've had the link pinned for quite some time. Let's see here. Bill Simmons is very 2009. Tommy Hurley looks fierce tonight. There may be some product in it, but I keep sleeping on it right before the show, and then this side over here is getting out of control, so I'm going to have it cut tomorrow. Goat is laughing. Let's see here. Here's Taylor Twellman. Taylor Twellman always has pretty good takes.
Wow. As difficult of a game to watch as I've watched in years. And my heart really aches for those players.
Why?
Because they put their heart and soul into it.
Yes.
Whoa.
Putting your heart and soul into something should not automatically earn. We need a result attached to that heart and soul. Okay? Heart and soul is expected of you. You're on the U.S. national team. You're playing in the World Cup on home soil. We expect heart and soul. But my heart's not going to ache for yours. And by the way, heart, where was the heart in that match yesterday? Somebody tell me. Tim Ream's on the field, and he's a tourist.
For a while. This generation of player remembers 12 years ago when they lost to Belgium. And they were kids. They were 12, 13, 14-year-old kids. And they dreamt about playing Belgium in the round of 16 and having a better performance than 12 years ago. And
yeah, and that's where it remains, a dream. I'm fast forwarding. I can't hear him. He's youth soccering it up. I normally love his takes. I want to hear this is unacceptable. They should be ashamed. That's what I want to hear. It's like they have no reason to be ashamed unless they don't make the World Cup. That's the only shame in anything.
But when you look at the first 3 goals that Belgium scored, those are going to be very difficult situations for the players to forget about and to understand, because at the highest level, when you are fundamentally not sound and you're not clean with your technique, with or without the ball, in defending actions, in moments where you got to be better than the opposition, you're going to get found out. And that's what happened today. But I'm going to leave you with this, because I said the exact same thing 12 years ago.
Please make it be, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Change has to happen. Evolution has to happen. If you believe it just comes down to the ball bouncing and this and that, then I don't think that's enough. This has to motivate everyone in the ecosystem to be better, to want to improve, to change.
Look, somebody with total control that knows what the hell they're doing needs to come in here and make it happen. One of my good friends put, side note, why country roads? And I posted the link to my monumentally stupid idea show. I hope they listened to it and enjoyed it. Oh, my good friend Rebecca Love is on a post here. The adult film star. This guy, I don't like him. I'm not going to post him. He actually has said some true things, but I just don't like him most of the time. Anyway, I think that can do it. I don't think you guys are dying to hear me play any more of these hunyucks saying stupid stuff. Oh God, I hate all these meatheads.
You know, just watching people effort and Cape Verde being so inspirational and.
Here's a guy about to. This guy has a huge. I'm getting back to my thing with all these quote unquote experts. Would you rather hear from them or from me? I'll take a poll right here. All these quote unquote experts that are, first of all, balding, ball cap, speech impediment, vocal fry, nasal as hell. I don't get it. I don't know how this guy got on this show with his speech impediment, but I'm going to play him anyway.
This graphic is the craziest thing. We have literally never won a World Cup game where we give up the first goal. Yep. It's never happened, and it's the most matches to not have a single victory in World Cup history. Literally winless in 25 matches.
He uses his bottom lip to make his S's, just in case you were interested.
Argentina over Egypt, Belgium, Senegal, both down 2-0. Brazil, Japan, Portugal, Croatia, Morocco, Netherlands, England, Congo.
That's a pretty good stat, but I can't stand looking at you. I just can't. This is kind of funny.
One thing this World Cup has taught me is the European approach on shit talk. It's like you need to be named Oliver and wear a kilt and eat dog water beans for breakfast in order to even like discuss the sport. The angle is basically Americans have no idea shit about soccer, so just shut your ass up. But you gotta tip your hat. They're angry as hell. I'm gonna call it passion. I'm gonna call it freaking passion. You call it soccer and they react as if you just insulted their mother on an extreme personal level. You talk a little shit about faking injuries every 2 minutes and you get a mob of pissed off dudes named Pierre saying You get your foot stepped on and see how bad it hurts. It hurts. Metal spikes, it hurts. America might not be a soccer country, but I love the fact that we, at least as a general population, our men's team didn't do this shit. I wish they would have. At least we know how to take a hit in our sports and pop back up. A little testosterone. And I will die on that hill. that means something. That showcases some character. Taking a hit and popping up. That's grit. We got that grit.
That's pretty funny. You got to admit. You got to admit. Oh, good God. That's, oh, here's Nick Wright with stupid Colin Coward.
Pulisic in Seattle. APB, where's he at? Your fish is undercooked. You have every right to say, send it back to the kitchen. I'd like to send Pulisic last night back to the kitchen. It wasn't good enough.
You know how you can tell us ugly Americans are taking this tournament and taking soccer seriously when the superstars, or in Pulisic's case, alleged superstars, get the superstar treatment. It would be insulting to be like, well, he tried really hard, which, by the way, is not a full certainty here. And it's unacceptable when your best player was the 8th best player on his own team in the 49% of the minutes he was able to play in this tournament. I thought it was a mainstream opinion of the best player supposedly in the history of our country in this sport should have been better.
Hey, man, the best player in the history of this country is Clint Dempsey. It is not Christian Pulisic. I'm sorry. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. They have to celebrate mediocrity. I do not care for this commentary. Use the soundboard, please. All right. Should we take for granted that the U.S. is ever going to get past the round of 16 ever again?
No, 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 never, 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 no, never.
When people tell me Matt Freese is the best goalkeeper that we can produce, you know what I say?
Whoa, wait.
I'm concerned about the number of penalties.
Stop. What?
When somebody says to me, I'm wrong about my take that the United States soccer culture is permeated with a youth soccer attitude, and we need to get a cutthroat, professional, good enough or go bye-bye attitude, and they say that I'm wrong, you know what I say?
Don't you damn call again here.
That's what I say. And when I predict so many things so clearly and so accurately, years and years and years in advance, and when I tell you Diego Luna, he ain't ready for the U.S. national team, and Gio Reyna is, and you say I'm wrong, you know what I say?
Do any of you know what the hell I do for a living?
That's what I say. That is what I say. Did you want the sound? You wanted the soundboard, right? You're the guy that wanted the soundboard? And you know what else I say? I say it's a shame, because I've had the link pinned here for a long time. It's a shame I can't get on with all of these sports bros. It really. Wait. There's another place I got to go here for an idiot. Hold on a second here. There's another place I have to go here for an idiot. There's another place, unless they banned me. I've been crapping all over their soccer expert for the whole World Cup and before, because he's an idiot. He says the dumbest things. Oh, here's one. Here's one from this guy, this moron. Whoops, I got to turn on his sound. Poop. Here he is.
I mentioned him earlier. Jeremy Doku plays for Manchester City in the Premier League and plays for Belgium. Belgium has had this golden generation that seems to now have aged out of stardom, and all of the expectations seem to go like left with that golden generation that's kind of aged out and retired. And now in comes this guy, Jeremy Doku, who I think is a really, really good player in the best league in the world. And I think that if he's able to actually lead Belgium further than maybe this golden generation that everyone has left and now is saying like, Belgium's not going to be anything. If he's able to go further than that team, then I think that maybe he's a star on the international.
Hey, Jeremy Doku only played 23 second half minutes last night there, Tyler Kern. You moron. You complete blithering idiot. Wait till I give you some more of this guy's takes. You're not going to believe how bad they are. How incredibly, incredibly bad they are. I can't begin to tell you. There's one here I have got to play. I have got to play. Well, I don't even know if I should. It's getting to the point where it's like...
It's crazy.
What's the recruiting process like?
He's the dumbest, dumbhead that you're ever going to hear. Ever going to hear. Just, let me find another one here. I started skipping them because I'm like, I can't just do this every time because it's so bad. Let's see here. Oh, here's one. This is a great one.
Football. Soccer. It is soccer. Hey, we play football here.
Largest World Cup that we've ever had. 32 teams will qualify for the knockout round.
Listen how nasally he is. He looks just like he sounds.
So the way this works is there's 40, whatever, you're guaranteed 3 games, which means they made it to the quarterfinals and got robbed of making it potentially to the semifinals by an own goal committed by a German defender named Torsten Frings.
Now, those of you who know the game know that wasn't an own goal. It was a handball that wasn't called. And this guy will just keep talking and spitting out crap, and they've got him as their expert. He's their expert guy over and over and over and over again. And I see it on all of these shows. I mean, just nonstop idiocy, moronic. He doesn't know how players are qualified for a national team. And when they're tied to a national team, he doesn't know what that process is, but he's trying to explain it as if he does. It has to be a senior competitive match. Idiot. He's telling people if they want to learn more about soccer, read a blog. Yeah, don't go watch David Moyes on the league managers videos, explain the high press, or any of the other actual Premier League managers explain things to you on a YouTube video. No, go read a blog. Nerd. We can't have nerds representing the sport anymore. It's long since past that we can do that. Long ago. Long ago. We can't have nerds doing it anymore. I'm sorry. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. He says Tyler Adams is the most valuable player on the United States national team.
Player to watch for the U.S. is Tyler Adams. He's a defensive midfielder, so you're not going to see him scoring goals, but he's going to be the guy that you're going to rely on to break up opposing attacks. So if he is playing at his best, he plays in the Premier League in England and played for a team called Bournemouth that played a similar style to how I think the U.S. is going to play in this tournament. If he is ever injured for the U.S., they're screwed. There's nobody like.
I think he could be injured and we just put Berhalter in and we'd be fine. Probably better. Weston McKennie is the player that if he gets injured, you're screwed. That's the player. That's the player. Dummy. Idiot. Nerds. Just hopeless nerds. Here's one.
He made it to the final in 1974 with this Dutch team that revolutionized the way we think about how to play the game. So he knew where he needed to be before other people. So he never really had to run. So he could smoke his entire career. There's an epic.
He's talking about Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff, ladies and gentlemen, never needed to run. I'll repeat that. This guy says Johan Cruyff, in the total football model of Rinus Michels, never needed to run.
Picture. I have
Did
a
he smoke
t-shirt.
cigarettes?
Smoke cigarettes, yeah. I have this great picture of him at halftime of a World Cup final, smoking a cigarette in his jersey in the locker room. Sadly, he passed away from lung cancer. So we don't have him with us anymore. There's a lesson there.
That's right. Stay away from cigarettes. Cigarettes are bad for you.
And try running. The opposite of what he did.
Right.
Jog a little bit. He made it to the final in 1974 with this.
Yeah, it jog a little bit because Johan Cruyff never ran. Are you insane?
Dutch team that revolutionized the way we think about how to play the game. They developed the system called total football, which meant players could interchange positions kind of seamlessly and had this understanding of how to play with one another that has now been adopted really widely throughout the soccer world. But at the time, people were a little bit more rigid in terms of how they thought about positioning and where you played on the field. And his team in 1974, he then kind of took this philosophy and brought it to coaching. And
Johan Cruyff brought total football to coaching. I'm sorry. I got to stop. Let's go to these comments that we've got here. Let's see. You wanted the soundboard, by the way. I gave you the soundboard. I never catch you live. Tom has a nice head of hair with a good radio voice. I will call you. These clips feel like a Reddit read out loud. Jesus. I agree. Sounds like Chelsea. Thank you, Tom. I live in a historic soccer area where I've seen friendlies with Ronaldo, Messi, etc. Even that, the culture is difficult in the U.S. You can begin to tell, as you're talking to me now, I am listening to you fully and actually, it's a figure of speech, champion. This guy's a moron. Not to be defensive, but as a casual listener, do you coach soccer or something, or just a big fan? I've coached, I've played, and I do analysis now. Football is only running. I know. You have to continue. No, I don't have to continue. Johan Cruyff never ran or jogged. Let's see here. Cruyff, whoops. Smoking. I don't know that he's correct about that. Whoops. Whoa. There's plenty of pictures of him as a coach. Here we go. Now, see, I knew this. God, I ought to put it. It's too bad. I already put that away. The halftime photo. The iconic image of Cruyff casually smoking a cigarette in the dressing room during the 1974 World Cup is not a real photograph of the event. It is a staged promotional shot starring Dutch actor Rat Scholten van Aschat from the television series Johan. Yeah. Totally quit smoking in 1991. Too late, but I got to go back and correct that on the thing. Stupid. Why am I the guy that knows all this? And he must lick taint like a maestro. I mean, my yoga box is a heavy smoker. UFC has had a few. Yeah, it's whatever. Dino Zoff also famously smoked a lot. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a Dino Zoff smoking his coach picture. Let me see if I can get a Dino Zoff smoking on the sidelines right next to Paul Gascoigne. It's freaking awesome. Here's an Adidas Originals ad with D-Notes off, and he's wearing his Italian national team jersey, and he's smoking. Dino Zoff was one of my heroes when I was a player. Jim Leyland is a great smoker. Hey, all right, kids, that's all I got today. What's the ending song going to be? Here's another thing I would tell these idiots about me concerning. I'd love to get on a show with this dipshit Tyler Kern. I would love it. And the first thing I would say to him,
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire.
That's the first thing I would say. Well, let me see. What's our final song going to be? You know, I played a couple oldies but goodies at the start of the show. Jim Leyland. I don't want to talk about baseball. Let me get a good oldie but goodie Tom Gulley Show song created by Leon Kennedy, our musical director. Tom Gulley goes to town, wise waves. I played the man from Gull. Ooh, the night the spiders attacked. I could play a very Gully Christmas. It would be a little out of sorts. Once you go Gully, that's pretty good. I'm trying to find something that might be a little appropriate for the topic. The Prodigy remix of that clip is a good song. Hell yeah. It's not as good as Arthur Brown. Fire. Oh, that's the point. We got to do that's the point. That's the point. Yeah, because I've made a lot of points during the program tonight, which has gone on way too long. I had anticipated this show would last 45 minutes, and I also anticipated a couple of other things. I'd anticipated I would get at least one super chat for this show because, as you know, our goal every night is any amount of money, and we have made bupkis on this program. I had also anticipated, since I pinned the link, that I'd have at least one guest, and I haven't had any. Okay? That means I'm not going to do StreamYard unless I have a guest anymore. I did this for years with the phone number. Nobody called. I'm doing it now with the link. So screw it. I'll just talk to myself as usual. It'd be great. Anyway, tomorrow we're doing Mary Hartman, in honor of the late Grace Louise Lasser, who was married to Woody Allen. But Mary Hartman is incredible show. Oh, Ty was wondering about my background in soccer. Hold on one moment. Well, there I am right there. Why don't we get these up on the big screen so Ty can get the full effect of the whole thing. There is one of my early teams that I was on back in 75. By the way, that's Carmel Dad's Club Soccer. I think it probably cost $15 to play on that team. Obviously, we didn't get fancy jerseys, or shorts. We got good enough to last the season, though, by God. And so there was that. Well, that was the high school team I played on that went to the state finals and lost 2 times in a row. That was great. Here's another team I was on that probably cost $15 to play on. As it's not much. Doesn't take much. I think this is me in college. I mean, that was kind of expensive because you had to go to college, but you could get a scholarship if you were really good, like I was. That's just Sam's Army. Sam's Army, by the way, very affordable pricing on bus trips to big, large U.S. national team events like this one. This is just outside of Soldier Field, which you can see there in the background. We beat Honduras 2-1 on a late goal by Landon Donovan. This is my seat for that little event. It wasn't the greatest, but I got to sit next to 2 really hot chicks. We got anything else in here? I don't think there is. Of me. Let's see. You were a damn fox. Unless you're a girl, I don't want to hear that. Very cool. I don't know what's very cool, but anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. Tomorrow, Mary Hartman. I do have a really cool song for you here, though. And with all that being said, look, I know more about soccer than anybody. Anyone that is punditing on these sports things. And I'm a dude. I'm not a bald cap, goatee, sports bro, nerd, vocal fry, nasal voice. I'm not that guy. Okay? I know of one I speak. And nothing pisses me off worse than hearing these idiots spread misinformation and their soft ass, it's a niche sport. No, it's not a niche sport. It might be here, but it's a sport, and they take it just as seriously, if not more serious, than the NFL or Major League Baseball or the NBA or anything we do over here. Don't think for a second that they don't. It's the whole goddamn world, okay? You might think, NFL fan, that you guys are at the very top of the food chain as far as building teams and getting people in shape. You're not. There's a whole other 4 billion, 8 billion, 7 billion, how many other people out there doing it every day at a sport that's bigger, more commercially successful than yours is ever going to be. So suck it. Suck it. You could be if you tried. Well, thanks. You think I want to call up all these meathead sports bro ball cap gas bags? You're crazy. You're crazy. With all that being said, till next time. It is cost related. You only need a buffer. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm pissed that they keep charging all this money. Only one country cares about the end of it. Boy, you got that right. You got that right. Anyway. And you ever notice it hasn't grown? You ever notice they tried to have it in Europe? It didn't really take off. They keep going over there and playing a game or two every year there. They're Dublin, wherever else, Germany. That just never... Anyway, I'm just glad you didn't play a McAfee clip. Don't get me started on that drunken fool. Had to pull him out of the White River in Indianapolis. He was such a drunk. He's the ultimate sports bro, by the way. Just a meathead. And now they're going to have Jameis Winston and Rob Gronkowski do a show about soccer. Those two absolute cretins, morons of the highest order, they're going to do a show about soccer on Fox. Anyway, Canada does okay with it. I'm playing this song. I'll see you tomorrow. Crap. I didn't turn on the stereo. Hold on. Hold on, kids. Now I got to reset this son of a... Gronk has all of the CT. It's disturbing to see the decline. Yeah. Let me put the stereo on. Get you guys cranked up here.
There's a room with a restless air, voices rising everywhere. Most fall wide or miss their mark till one cuts through and stops the spark. No long road, no winding tale, just the right thought set to sail. The room goes still for half a beat, then the band comes in complete. That's the point, my pal, you saw it land. Right in time with a the swing of the band.
That's the point, my dear, you saw it too.
Tom Gulley, yeah, he's pointing at you.
That's the point, my pal, you saw it land.
Right in time with the swing of the band.
That's the point, my dear, you saw it too.
Tom Gulley, yeah, he's pointing at you. Some press hard just to be heard, dressing noise up into words. But Mr. Gulley lifts a hand and the room falls in with a band. No flourish, nothing grand, just a thought you understand. When the rhythm nods along, you know you've landed something strong.
That's the point, my pal, you saw it land.
Right in time with the swing of the band.
That's the point, my dear, you saw it too.
Tom Gulley, yeah, he's pointing at you.
That's the point, my pal, you saw it land.
Right in time with the swing of the band.
That's the point, my dear, you saw it too.
Tom Gulley, yeah, he's pointing at you. Trumpets rise, the rhythm swells. Sax is no